Of Congress say the $700 billion bailout plan failed because the American people didn't buy it. But could the plan have been sold better? Did Henry Paulson, Ben Bernanke, and others fail to win over skeptics because of their panicky descriptions of what might happen if we don't do something? Let's ask some guys who know a lot about management and sales. Jack Falvey, an old friend of mine, is an author, sales and management expert, and founder of MakingTheNumbers.com. He joins us from Boston. He also taught me everything I knew when I was at the Wall Street Journal. Michael McGrath is a management consultant and author of the book Decide Better for a Better Life. He joins us from Dallas. So, Jack, first to you. What did you think of the Bernanke and Paulson sales job?
It was a hustle, David. As soon as they put those time frames on it, you knew there was trouble. They were hiding something. So this wasn't a bailout. This was a cover-up. So as soon as they said, if we didn't pass this by Thursday night, the world would come to an end. And oh, by the way, if we didn't pass it by the end of the weekend, the world would come to an end. Well, here we are on Tuesday, and the world has not come to an end. Now, it took a little dip towards the end. What they sold was a panic. And some people, very smart people, said, we don't want to be hustled. The American people don't want to be hustled, and some very junior Congress people didn't want to be hustled, and that's what stopped the cover-up. So then the question is, where do we go from here? If the cover-up isn't going to work, what is going to work? And the answer is, if there's underlying value in these assets, well, let's sell them off, but don't let the government sell them off.
Look, we're going to be talking about the bill itself or the plan for the bill itself. But, Michael, just the sales job alone. A lot of people are now blaming Bernanke and Paulson, saying that, you know, they overstated their case. The sky is not falling. There is still credit. The credit markets are squeezed terribly, but there is still credit in the market. They went too far. What say you?
I think it's terrible timing for this. 5 weeks to the election, and all of the members of Congress are really interested in is saving their jobs, and that wasn't really considered in the bill. They're very interested in what the reaction is going to be, and you can see them all the night before having dreams about what the attack ads are going to be against them, and I don't think this bill was really packaged to address that issue.
So how could it have been better sold, Michael?
What if they called it the Capital Stability Investment Fund or something like that, and it's not $700 billion, but it's an investment of $700 billion, and maybe we'll make a profit on it. It was really, I think, undersold in the way that we needed to right now, with the members of Congress really concerned about, how their constituents are going to act and what the attack ads are going to be against them over the next 5 weeks.
Well, Jack would have named, you are a consummate salesman. You're one of the best salesmen I've ever met in my life. It's called the Emergency Economic Stabilization Act of 2008. Does sound kind of scary. Could they have at least given it a better name?
Sure, they could have called it anything they wanted to, but a rose by any other name still smells, and this one smells bad. And it still smells bad, and your guest is right. They're trying to hustle this through in a political season. That's not a legitimate
But, Jack,
deadline.
even if you don't like it, and I get that you don't like it, the question is, could you sell it somehow? We're just talking about the salesmanship here. Could you sell the sizzle, not the steak, on this one?
Okay, I'm not from New York, and I'm not from Washington, so I don't believe in this bill. And if you don't believe in something, you cannot sell it.
Interesting.
These people believe in it pretty much because the consequences are very real in Washington, D.C. and in New York City, but not where I come from. Where I come from, people are saying, wait a minute, stop, we don't want to buy.
Understood. But, Michael, again, the question, whether you like it or don't like it, the question is how it was sold. Is there any way that Paulson and Bernanke can change their salesmanship to get through the package number 2 or number 3?
I think package number 2 and number 3 will fly. I think they have to make changes, but I think there's members of Congress who realize that something needs to be done before they go home for the re-election. And I think if there's any change, even if they're somewhat cosmetic, I think there'll be enough support. I think there are enough members who really thought they had to support this, but were afraid to vote for it. And I think they'll find the courage to support this or something in the next few days or weeks so that we can get on with kind of stem the bleeding.
I just hope, as I know Jack Falvey does, that they continue to listen to the American people, because that's what matters. That's the only constituency that does. Michael McGrath, Jack Falvey, good to see you both. Thanks very much. Coming up on